Welcome friends. Today we shall be discussing about the pipe flow analysis, and in this our topic of discussion would be various head losses or energy losses that take place in case when the flow is taking place through pipes. Broadly, we'll be talking about these losses with the help of a classification calling it as major loss or major head loss and the minor losses. Major loss is on account of friction and minor losses are on account of various causes. For the first case, major loss, we'll be deriving an equation by the name of Darcy-Weisbach equation. And in the case of minor losses, we shall be noting down the various losses, the head losses that take place on account of various features, like it could be change in diameter, it could be because of certain fixtures, etc., that we'll talk later. However, one amongst them, the important equation that we'll be deriving is the Borda-Carnot head loss equation. Plus, we shall also be talking about some standalone terms like HGL, that's a hydraulic grade line. It's a very important line that is required in case of analysis of flows, hydraulic grade line, and total energy line, abbreviated as TEL, total energy line. We shall also be talking about some other expressions or other formulae which help us in determination of these head losses. So first of all, we start with the head loss in pipes due to friction. If we classify, as I said, if we classify the losses, they are classified as major loss and minor loss. Major loss is on account of friction. So that's what we are going to derive first. Head loss in pipes due to friction. The definition sketch for this is drawn with the help of a circular pipe. Say this is a pipe. X's discharge entering the system and leaving the system is same, it's a steady flow. Let's consider two sections on this, section 1.1 and section 2.2, spaced L apart. Diameter of the pipe is D. For the sake of convenience, we assume that it is a horizontally laid pipe. So accordingly, I'll fix up some parameters, that is pressure is P1 and P2, velocity say is V1 and V2 at the two sections respectively, and from the datum this is Z1, Z2. Though we have assumed that it's a horizontal pipe, but nevertheless we'll cross it at a later stage. So first we'll apply the energy equation. Energy equation Well, physics of the problem is that when the flow is moving from section 1 and crossing section 2, it is undergoing some loss in pressure intensity. And that pressure intensity is on account of the roughness at the surface, or in general on account of the friction between different layers of the flow. So because of that, there is some friction loss taking place. So with that in as the physics, I'll write the energy equation, and it is written as P1 by gamma, small w as the unit weight of water, plus V1 square by 2G plus Z1 must be equal to P2 by gamma plus V1 square by 2G plus Z2 plus HF. HF is the head loss that takes place on account of friction. So this is the head loss which we have to work out. So energy equation has been mentioned, and this is what is our objective. We have to find out this. So in order to simplify this equation, as I said, discharge is Q, area of cross section given by the diameter D. D is constant throughout. So velocity, which is Q upon area, and if area is same, A1 is equal to A2. So safely I can say that V1 square by 2G and V2 square by 2G, they are same. So they can be safely thrown out of this equation. And similarly, for the sake of convenience, we had placed this pipe horizontally. So I can also say that Z1 is equal to Z2, and hence this also vanishes. And we are left with the expression that is P1 by gamma minus P2 by gamma is equal to HF. Head loss due to friction is this. That is, there is going to be some head loss which is on account of reduction of pressure intensity as the fluid moves from section 1 to section 2. And why is it due to? It is on account of the frictional resistance being generated at the perimeter of the pipe material. I'll leave it here, mark it, say, call it equation number 2, this being the first one. I'll have to erase this to make up for some space. But anyway, you have the figure with you. So now talking about the material of the inside of the pipe, that is the pipe wall material. Say F dash is the frictional resistance of the pipe wall per unit area at unit velocity. That's by our creation, our definition. So how much is the total frictional resistance? Therefore, the frictional resistance is going to be F dash into number 1 unit area, that is multiplied by the area on which it is acting, into velocity V. But since this velocity is likely to be turbulent velocity, so, and the frictional resistance, we know it varies as velocity to the power n. We'll give some value to this n based on some logic at a later stage. For the time being, I hope this is clear. That is, this is the total frictional resistance, and you can give it some equation number, call it 3. How much is this? If I write it fully, then this is F dash into, what is the area on which it is acting? It is acting on a P, that is, it's a pipe. And we are talking about the area on which it is acting. If you recall that figure, the basic figure that we have drawn, then L was the length, and perimeter is what is coming into play in this case. So F dash into P into L into V to the power N, this is the frictional resistance that is generated at the pipe surface. Again, now moving on, I write the forces in the direction of flow. What are the forces which are acting in the direction of flow? P1 into A. Pressure will be always acting normal to the area. So area of cross section generated by a diameter D of the pipe is A. This must be equal to P2 into A, P2 being the pressure intensity at section 2, plus this frictional resistance. The frictional resistance. I think it was better if you named this as 3. And the first one, let it be say 3 dash. So this is the frictional resistance that is coming into play. So this now I can rearrange to be written as P1 minus P2 into area A. This must be equal to the frictional resistance, that is F dash into P into L. P is the perimeter, mind you, into L into V to the power N. Rearrange it further. Recall that equation number 1 or 2 that we had written, which was P1 minus P2 by gamma. That is what we have to determine, and that was equal to HF. So if I put it in that form, arrange it in a manner that is P1 minus P2 by gamma, this is equal to F dash, because gamma is what we are dividing throughout both sides, into P by A into L into V to the power N. I think it's well understood. P by A requires some specific treatment here. P by A, I'll relate it to a term A by P, wetted area by wetted perimeter. We'll be using this in case of pipe flows and open channel flows, wetted area by wetted perimeter. In the case of pipes, what is the wetted area? It is pi d square by 4. And what is the wetted perimeter? It is pi d. So these cancel out, pi and pi cancels out, 1d cancels out, and you are left with d by 4. So if I look at it here, P by A, it is going to be replaced by 4 by D. Normally, this is denoted as R. Wetted area by wetted perimeter. And for turbulent flows, the variation of frictional resistance or head loss with respect to velocity, it is of the order of 1.72 to 2, and it's been established to be adopted as 2. So I'll put that here, put d by 4 wherever it is appropriate, and this one, I hope, since we are connecting it with that equation number 2, I'm replacing it by HF. This is equal to F dash by gamma. P by A has been replaced by 4 by D, L V to the power N. This is N is also now 2. F dash by gamma 4 by D LV square. This is the expression for head loss. Give it an equation number. Say finally, you may call it as equation number. Frictional resistance, this was equation number 4. Let this be equation number 5. But you will also appreciate that F dash is the frictional resistance per unit area at unit velocity. Now this needs to be duly quantified. So in order to quantify this, we make use of an established curve. Prior to that, now we are going to replace this 4FW by 4F dash by W. Replace this 4F dash by W, that is the unit weight, by F upon 2G, where F is the coefficient of friction or friction factor, and this is given by, it's provided in a tabular form, as well as it has been given with the help of one diagram which is very popular. It is Moody's or Stanton's diagram. Along the x-axis, we have the Reynolds number. Y-axis on the left-hand side carries F, that is a friction factor or coefficient of friction. And on the y-axis, the right side, this is epsilon upon D, relative roughness. I hope you recall this term, epsilon upon D. This was relative roughness. Reynolds number up to an extent of about 2000, that is 2 into 10 to the power 3, where it is expected to be laminar flow. Thereafter 4 into 10 to the power 3 is where it is going to be in transition, and thereafter it is turbulent. For the first case here, this is given by a straight line F equal to 64 upon R. For the laminar region, but then there is a whole lot of area where it has to be found out with the help of curves. For some of these areas, this is not well defined, and but for the other regions, we'll find that this way there are a number of curves. You'll have to refer to not been very good at drawing this. I should have drawn it better. But these are the curves and this is the range. And this is up to about 0.040 or so. And the region on the above side, the upper side, it is mainly turbulent flow. Lower side, this is indicative of the smooth, for smooth pipes. And here somewhere you say that it is the beginning of, it's rough pipes. That's the variation. I expect you to have a good look at this kind of a figure from a standard book. It is known as Stanton's diagram or Moody's diagram for the determination of F. So with this background, once again, we come back to this replacement, that is HF is equal to F dash by gamma into 4 by D LV square. Remember this. I'll have to erase this once again. And so after replacing it, I get this expression HF as F L V square by 2GD. Block this expression and remember it. You are expected to remember this expression. FLV square by 2GD. Now in this case, if I want to write this expression in terms of discharge instead of velocity, if I replace it by discharge, what is discharge? Q is equal to V into area or V is equal to Q upon area, that is Q upon pi d square by 4. Since it is squared, so this will be F L Q square by into, of course, 4 square, that is 16, by 2 G D and pi square d square. Kindly check this replacement of the symbols, these expressions. There are some constants around, 16, 2g, pi square, etc. So this comes out to be F L Q square upon 12.1 times d to the power 5. So second expression that you are expected to remember is this. Remember this expression by heart. Q is the discharge. F is the friction factor or coefficient of friction. L is the length of the pipe through which flow is taking place, and we are finding out the friction head loss, major loss, head loss, and D is the diameter of the pipe. So well, with this, we come to the end of this particular derivation, which was for the head loss due to friction. Or also referred to as the major loss, major head loss. Well, the other losses are on account of various pipe fittings. They are put in the category of or classified as minor losses. These minor losses can occur on account of various situations. I'll be taking it up in my next lecture.